When did you publish your Star Spangled Banner? Was that recently?
Yeah, so we had one on the American Patriot album that came out last year, but it was kind of a too fast of a version. I said, I want to have Disney meeting Star Wars in a
Mm.
live version. And so we just put it out last Friday, just in time for the 4th.
Beautiful. The imagery and a lot of the stuff that I saw, like that I really want. And I'm older, but even still, you probably remember a time, and I talk of this all the time, when we would go to a 4th of July parade in the public square, and nobody cared. Like, oh, the Democrats are over there, and there's no such thing. You get out there, everybody's waving a flag. Us being founded as a Christian nation, that's not a bad thing, because non-Christians have benefited from that. If you've got, a God-centered approach to governance, everybody benefits from that, whether you're a Christian or not. It's not a bad thing for us to have been founded that way, and to have a culture that they're trying to destroy. They're trying to take us away from God. They don't want us to have good families and good communities. Isn't that true?
It has been an attack upon the families since LBJ. You see in the African American community, you have I think the percentage is like 85, 90% of African American homes don't have the father in the home. And that started back from LBJ, of what he did, giving more money to a family that didn't have the father in the home. It sounded great, but what it did was bust up the families. And so when you look at the satanic attack, Satan is all about getting to your children, busting down the families, busting down the Christian values. And that's exactly what's at play. That tells you it is an antichrist, satanic movement. And that's why I'm very disappointed in the Christian community for not standing up and realizing it and fighting against it,
And I mentioned your Star Spangled. I saw it today. For the first time, I watched it, and I mean, I've heard it before in the background, but I watched the visual imagery, and I think you covered all of the bases that we really, really need to hone in on. And I say all the bases, honoring those that have fallen. Can you imagine that we were founded, and men and women have fought and died to protect our freedoms, and we've inherited it. And when we say we need to stand up and defend it, otherwise, they will have died in vain. We have a duty right now to defend our way of life, because we inherited it, right?
That's right. And freedom is the most important thing that we own. It's the most expensive thing that we own, because of what was the blood that was shed to secure it. And I was very disappointed during COVID. I know it was a new and scary thing, but the scripture tells us God has not given us the spirit of fear. When you hear fear and when you feel chaos, that's the other side. That's not God. And so the Christians, everybody just went lockstep and said, here, we want a false sense of security. Please, please take our freedoms. And I was very disappointed in that, because they made a lot of ground in taking them away from us. And it has been under continuous attack since 2020 behind the scenes, and we don't even realize what they're doing. But they will try it again, folks, and we have to be smarter. That's why they want to come for our guns. We've got a song coming out next month called "The Second Protects Our First." We do not have a First Amendment of those 11 freedoms if we do not have guns. And anybody that doesn't think that's right needs to go back and research in history what happens after the government takes away guns. Millions of people perish.